Hello there everybody, welcome to a commentary. Yeah, I might do a few more of these or continue doing maybe one a week depending on how much I play COD. Not really playing it too much lately, but I have some gameplay here for you. Wasn't even intending it to be gameplay, I was just sort of going for some feeds. I failed quite miserably, but enjoy the gameplay anyway. I'm using the P90 with extended magazines and FMJ. My perks are Bling, Stopping Power, and I believe Commando Pro, or Steady Aim. I'm going to go with Commando Pro. And my secondary is Akimbo Deagles with FMJ. So enjoy the gameplay while I talk about two subjects in particular. One is host migration stalls. I'm going to cover that first. So host migration stalls. I really dislike host migration stalls. I think they're stupid. They look stupid. Oh, look at that. Adjusting my brightness. In the middle of gameplay. Because, you know, that's how professional I am. So, host migration stalls. I think they're stupid. They look stupid. They are stupid. And I think they need to stop. I believe the first time I saw a host migration stall was about maybe a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years ago. And basically, at the time, I'm pretty sure everyone else, including me, just took it as a fucking joke. Like, it was hilarious. You know, that's the whole point. Like, oh, it's funny, host migration store, I see what you did there, you know. You know, it was a joke. And that's what it still is to me. But the rest of the Trickshotting community has started to take it more seriously. Like, oh man, host migration stores, they're sick. Why? I don't see how you see host migration stalls as good. I just don't understand that. See, to me, anything you do before the host migration stall, like before you host migrate, is invalid because you've just host migrated. So all you're doing is, you know, let's say you do like a 360 wrist twist 720 fakie, and you're aiming at someone, you're in midair off the crane of high rise, and then host migration kicks in. Everything you did is invalid because now all you're gonna hit is a no scope, unless you do like a 360 and then, you know, no scope after the host migration stall. But the majority of people just tend to, you know, be facing the target, host migration kicks in, then they no scope. And to me, that needs to stop. That's just silly. That's just stupid. And people need to stop doing it and stop taking it so seriously and acting as if it's this sick, amazing thing. And I know it's just opinion, so don't, you know, come at me with a pitchfork and gouge my eyes out or fucking, I don't know, cut my penis off in my sleep. It's just my opinion, but I think a lot of people would agree with me. People outside of the Call of Duty Trickshotting community, I think, would agree with me. I think. Don't quote me on that. And I'm gonna get like 10 million people running a survey to prove me wrong. Who am I kidding? I don't even get 3 views on each one of my videos. But the point is, host migration stalls, I really dislike. I think they need to just stop altogether. I mean, obviously, if it's unintentional, then I suppose that's fine. But it would still, you know, going back to my earlier point, make everything you did before the host migration invalid. So that's my opinion on host migration stalls. And the second thing I want to talk about is trickshotting nowadays. What do I mean by that? I mean people, basically how people constantly go, I miss the old school trickshotting days. Hey! I'm sure that's how they sound when they say it too. But people who do that, like, oh man, I really miss the olden days of trickshotting. That was so much more fun. Oh man, I want to go back to that. And it's the same with people saying, you know, this happens with the community in general as well. Like, I think the newest video on the subject I saw was a video by Zerka, who made a video saying, oh man, the community's so fucked up nowadays. I really hate videos like that. Videos like that and videos that say, oh man, we need to revive Call of Duty 4 and 5 and stop the modding, and Activision, why aren't you doing anything about this? I think that needs to stop too, because that is just silly. The games are old, of course they're going to start being hacked or modded or whatever. You know, it's just, the game's outdated, it's old. I love COD 5. It was my first COD, and I prefer it over all the other Call of Duties, and I love it to bits. Go play it nowadays. Play Search and Destroy. You know what? Even getting a game in COD 5 is pretty much impossible. Like, the most people you see in a playlist is like 112 in TDM. You don't see people in any other playlists, you know. But whenever you do get a game that's hacked to shit, you can't play it whatsoever. Very rarely will you get a decent game with a decent connection. But, you know, I am accepting the fact that, okay, you know what, fine, it's past its prime. It's obviously going to fade away. You know, the community's not going to be there forever. It's not going to have a steady supply of people to play it. Right? And, you know, times go on. New Call of Duty games come out. It's just, you know, it's the way life go. And I say life, you know, the Call of Duty franchise. Whatever. But yeah, I mean, the same thing with Trickshotting, right? And the same thing with the community, to me, hasn't really changed one bit. It's how you look at the community, you know. I mean, it's grown. It has grown a ton. I was, you know, in the Call of Duty community about 3 years ago, maybe, probably a little more than 3 years ago, I started, you know, lurking in the Call of Duty community. So I've been here for a little while, and I was doing commentary since the middle of Modern Warfare 2. You know, I've had various accounts and blah blah blah. That's obviously, you know, don't go, oh, but this account is only this, oh, it's not 4 years old. Well, yeah, I've had different accounts. Sue me. But yeah, I mean, I've been doing commentaries, playing the game, competitive, non-competitive, trick-shotting, not trick-shotting, you know, just the games in general, the Call of Duty franchise and the Call of Duty community on YouTube. It has changed a lot. I've watched it changed, and you know what? It hasn't changed for the worse. It's kind of changed. I mean, the content that's coming out nowadays, some of it's really, you've got to really delve into it to find really good original creative content. But for the most part, it's kind of stayed the same. But it's just a massive increase. So the good stuff is getting, you know, packed away behind shit. Anyway, back to my original topic that I meant to be talking about and not bitching like a bitch. Or ranting like a ranter, not really bitching. But point is, trickshotting nowadays, it's the same. You do whatever you want. People choose to make their trickshotting, you know, more complicated. They choose to do that, so you can't be sort of saying, I miss the olden days, man. Nowadays you have to do 5 million things and it's so complex. Okay, well, that's not really a thing that you need to do. I mean, you can do whatever the fuck you want and post it, you know, if that's what you enjoy doing. So don't go around complaining. Even if you know, think that you might get hate, well, who gives a shit, you know? I mean, if you're complaining about it, do your own thing and don't give a shit what other people think. That's what I do. I do my own thing. I mean, when I trick shot, I don't do the world's most complicated trick shots. I just kind of just do what I enjoy doing and do what I think looks nice. And that's what I think everyone needs to do. So, thanks for watching this commentary. Peace out.